Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. I'm Lysha from Lysha Be Creative, and today's tutorial is a heart-shaped keychain just in time for Mother's Day. Of course, everything I use today will be listed in the description. Definitely check that out for discount codes as well as links to my social media. And of course, before you go, give this video a huge thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Alright, so I am starting with this 3-inch heart-shaped blank that I purchased off Amazon. You can purchase various different shapes of acrylic blanks right off of Amazon, as well as other vendors, which I will make sure to list down in the description box. This one I purchased in I believe in a pack of like 25 or so for probably about $12, so pretty inexpensive. I'm going to take the protective sheet off the back of this heart and I'm going to give it a light sand as well as clean that off with some 91% rubbing alcohol. And this is just going to help us adhere our glitter mixture with resin to this side of the heart. So we are going to be using UV resin for today's keychain. So I will link the UV resin that I have been using as well as my UV lamp down in the description box as well. And I'm going to pour about probably a total of 10 to 15 mLs in my cup here. Definitely enough to cover the entire surface of my blank here. And so the glitter that I'm going to be using over top is Pink Peony from Maestra Creations. This was in her most recent spring box a couple months back. A beautiful color. I absolutely love this purple, and purple is really beginning to be my new fave. So I'm going to give this a good stir, and I realized that I didn't pour enough resin the first time, so I decided to go back in and add a little bit more UV resin over the top. The key to pouring your resin and glitter mixture is that when you're pouring your glitter over top of your resin, you definitely want to make sure that when you mix it, it's not too thick because it will be then pretty impossible to stir. Make sure that it's a nice consistency, similar to when you are letting your resin kind of thicken while you are waiting to epoxy cups. So I like to just make sure that it's still fluid enough to move, but it's not so thick that I can't get it to smooth onto my surface. So now that I have that all mixed up, I'm going to pour this mixture onto my acrylic blank here, and I'm going to use my metal stirring stick to pour out and shape all of that glitter mixture rather onto the edges, all the way from edge to edge of this acrylic blank. So you could certainly put this on top of like a piece of cardboard or something that's much easier to transport into and under your UV lamp. Completely up to you. I chose to just do this on this piece of paper and then pick it up carefully and put it inside of my UV lamp, but it's completely up to you. Sometimes it is a little bit easier so you're not getting your finger sticky or whatnot to tape this to a piece of cardboard or something scrap that you can just pick up and put under your lamp. So I'm just going to smooth out all this glitter and UV resin mixture from edge to edge on my acrylic blank, and then I'm going to set this in and under my lamp for a total of 120 seconds. So while my acrylic blank is curing, I am going to be creating the beaded section of our keychain today. So this is 20 gauge gold jewelry wire that I got from Hobby Lobby. I will definitely make sure to link that down in the description box. And I have probably cut off with my needle nose pliers probably about, I don't know, maybe 7 inches or so. I definitely like to cut more than I'll need just to make sure I have enough for all of the beads that I'm going to be stringing on this. And so what I'm doing with my needle nose pliers is I am creating a loop at the bottom. And so I know it's a little bit difficult to see, and I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here to show you a little bit of what I'm doing. But I am creating a loop with my needle nose pliers, and then I am wrapping around the shorter end of my wire around the longer part of the wire. So creating a loop and then securing that loop by wrapping that shorter wire along the longer edge of the wire to make sure that I have a nice sort of tight loop, something that isn't going to come undone and something that I can hide in between the beads that I'm going to be stringing. And so we're going to be using some bubblegum beads today that I purchased from Hobby Lobby. There are lots of places that you can get these bubblegum style beads, which I absolutely love and I have way too many of, but they are perfect for keychains, perfect for those little beaded stringed pens that you can do, necklaces, jewelry, I mean, you name it, you definitely can create some very unique things with these beads. So I just have some like lavender purple and some gold beads here that I'm just stringing in a pattern, and I then am going to do the same sort of loop feature that I did on the bottom of this beaded wire to the top. And so that same sort of thing, I'm taking my pliers and just creating a loop, so just kind of stringing it over itself and then curving it into a circular motion around the bottom portion of the wire. This part gets a little bit tricky because there isn't enough wire to sort of hide under or in between the beads, and so sometimes you do have to end up cutting off a lot of the excess or getting as close to that loop as possible and then pushing that wire flush so that obviously it does not poke anyone who's using the keychain. So definitely a little bit of work with the pliers to get that nice and flush so that the edge of that beaded jewelry wire is not poking out. So it does take a little bit of time here, and I actually will link a video down below that I first watched when I was trying to figure out how to string jewelry on wire versus using string. String is definitely the alternative that you can use, but because this wasn't going to be a bracelet or anything that I felt needed to stretch, I wanted to use some jewelry wire just because I felt like it would be a little bit more secure than having that elastic string. So once I have that all secured, I then am going to head over to GoDaddy Studio and we're going to create the decal for the other side of this acrylic blank. Okay, so I have opened GoDaddy Studio in my phone. This is formerly known as the Over app, and I have the paid version of this. And so I'm going to create a quote here. I'm going to create the quote, "If moms were flowers, I'd pick you." So you're going to see me create the first decal that I decided to do for this in a different font, and then you're going to see that I picked a different font. So let me walk you through what I'm doing here. So I am typing that out in GoDaddy Studio in the font that I like. I liked this scripty font, but when I cut it on my Cricut, it was way too small. I'm then going to go into the text settings and change the spacing to make the spacing closer together, and then get this cut on my Cricut. So last minute, I decided to change the font. I wanted a thicker, bolder font because when I first placed it, it just didn't look right. It was too fine and you couldn't read it. So I decided to go back and upload a more bolded font, which I will list down in the description box. And so then I uploaded that to Cricut and cut that. I also will note that when I went in the second time, I had a typo, a couple typos actually. So I use an apostrophe for moms when I did not need to in my haste to quickly get the decal recut. So my typo, my bad. Unfortunately, or fortunately, this is going to my mom, so she's not going to care either way. But I did want to mention that. So once I get this uploaded into Cricut Design Space, I did size it to be just under 3 inches, and then I got it cut on gold vinyl. So now that I have a thicker font that I'm more satisfied with, I'm going to use these little BAMF sticker cals that I got from BAMF Custom Creations. These I've used in previous tutorials. I loved them and thought they'd be a perfect addition to the back of this blank. So this is the other side of the blank, not the glittered side, but the other side. I have removed the protective sheet and sanded and cleaned this side as well before I've gone into adding any decals. And so now I'm just going to cut the decal that I just recut on my Cricut with that thicker font, and I am going to reverse weed this so that I don't lose any of the lettering when I'm applying it to the blank or removing all of the excess vinyl I do not need. So reverse weeding, as I've mentioned, I believe in a couple previous tutorials, is a really great way to make sure that when you're using a thinner cut of words, like finer words, things that have really tiny writing, a great way to make sure that you get all of that wording onto your whatever project you're working on. It just makes it that much easier so you don't have to try and really work very slowly to get all of the excess vinyl away from the words and letters that you need. So you can certainly do it when it's on the transfer sheet like I've shown in previous videos, or this way, which is just to apply the entire sheet of vinyl to whatever project you're working on and then pull off the negative or what you don't need from there. And so that's what I chose to do here. You certainly can do it whatever way you wish, but I do find that when I'm using smaller font and things that are going to be much smaller decal wise, that reverse weeding typically is my best friend. So I'm just going to continue to reverse weed the rest of this, and this is where my second mistake came in. I thought that I had gotten all of the vinyl I did not need on this, and I missed one space of extra vinyl in between my R and E and the word were. But neither here nor there. Again, it's going to my mom. She'll love it anyway. She literally loves anything that I create, so I know that she will not be disappointed with this. So let's go ahead and skip to me finishing up this side of the blank and then get into assembling the keychain. So as soon as you are done weeding all your vinyl, you're going to go ahead and just put a layer of UV resin over the back side. So just squeezing enough resin onto your blank that is going to be enough to reach the blank from edge to edge. And I'm again just going to use my metal stir stick to spread out that UV resin in a nice even layer from edge to edge on my blank. So another thing that I didn't mention the first time we were working on the flip side of this is that you definitely want to be super careful around where the hole of your keychain blank is to make sure that you don't get any UV resin in the hole. So definitely the trick to that is just going really slowly around that area and using something like a metal stir stick or something that has more of a thinner edge to get that little edge of the acrylic blank covered right next to the hole. And so once I have everything pretty secured, I've gotten it edge to edge, I'm going to put that back under my UV lamp for another 120 seconds. And once that is done, I am now ready to take that out from under my lamp, and it is nice and smooth, which is awesome. And now I can begin to assemble all of the keychain additions I'm going to be putting onto this little blank here. So for this, I'm going to be adding my beaded wire attachment as well as a little tassel, and of course one of the little floral chain extensions that I used in my UV pen resin tutorial. I have so many of these, and so I literally am putting them on everything. So the attachment though is going to be this lobster claw and key ring set that I got from Hobby Lobby right in the jewelry section. You certainly could use whatever you wish, and I will link some down in the description box that have this lobster claw addition to them in the description box for you to check out. So I have removed another like chain extension from another keychain that I have, and then I'm going to grab a bunch of gold jump rings as well to help me attach everything together. So I'm going to first put a jump ring through the hole of the acrylic blank, and I'm going to secure that jump ring by closing that. And because this is such a large blank, normally you'd be able to use one jump ring to attach not only the chain but also the blank, but because this is a little bit of a thicker blank, if you will, it's not as small, I did need to attach 2 jump rings to the blank in order to secure it to my lobster claw section, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to then attach the second jump ring to the first jump ring and then attach that to my keychain. So just the circle section of the keychain here. So I did try, of course, an attempt to get it on the jump ring get it on the keychain ring the first time. Did not work in my favor, so I knew I needed to go in and add a second jump ring in order to make that attaching of those 2 sections together pretty flawless. So going in and securing that jump ring, and then I'm going to go ahead and put the key ring onto that. And then once I've done that, I'm going to move into adding the other pieces of my keychain together. So you can certainly attach the accessories that you have any which way you prefer or choose to. I don't really feel like there's any real rhyme or reason for how you attach things. It's just whatever kind of works for you, think looks good. Sometimes you're going to attach things together and then unattach them and reattach them. So it's just whatever works for you, whatever goes with your flow, so to speak, because I don't feel like there is any right or wrong way. So I've attached the chain link section to my key ring, and then from that I'm going to attach another jump ring to the end of my little floral piece that I used in my UV pen tutorial to the bottom of that chain. And then to attach the tassel, I'm just going to take a jump ring and attach the end of my tassel, and then on that chain, towards the top of that chain, I'm going to secure the jump ring to one of the top holes. And this is so that they weren't hanging off the same area, that they were kind of spaced out, just so that you could see all of the different tassels and attachments that I was putting on this. And to be fair, if you wanted to go with just those 2, you are more than welcome to, but I really wanted to add this little beaded feature as well. I don't know, I just am so in love with bubblegum beads that I want to attach them to everything. So I really have a lot of fun making like the wristlet keychains, making these, you know, beaded beaded chains as well to attach to different keychain blanks. They're just a lot of fun, and you can have just so much fun with the different styles of bubblegum beads that are out there. So once I have those 3 attached, that's literally it. It literally took me no longer than 45 minutes to get this all said and done, and that was it. So here's a final look at the keychain for Mother's Day. I hope that you enjoyed today's tutorial. If you did, definitely make sure to give this video a huge thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys again on a Saturday. Bye!